Dear students, a very warm welcome to all of you. Today we will discuss the topic reproduction in bacteria. Bacteria are small microscopic prokaryotic organisms which lack a nuclear membrane and other membrane bound organelles like mitochondria and chloroplasts. Bacteria have always attracted the attention of human mind owing to their tremendous biological and ecological significance. They are very abundant in nature, and the secret of their abundance lies in their splendid way of reproduction. Bacteria are generally known to reproduce by asexual reproduction. True sexual reproduction is absent in bacteria, but genetic recombination takes place through conjugation, transduction and transformation. Asexual reproduction in bacteria, including the gram-negative photosynthetic cyanobacteria, takes place by following methods. The first type of asexual reproduction in bacteria is binary fission. This is the most common type of asexual reproduction in actually growing bacteria, and it occurs under favorable conditions. In this case, a single bacterial cell divides equally into two identical daughter cells. The whole process of binary fission involves two steps: genome replication and septum formation. In genome, the genome in DNA replicates into two daughter DNA molecules. The two daughter DNA molecules segregate, which is followed by septum formation and ultimately the formation of two nearly equal daughter cells. The whole process is very quick and it takes about 20 to 30 minutes. Thus, a single bacterium may give rise to millions of bacteria in just a few hours. The second type of asexual reproduction in bacteria is gonidia formation. The parent cell produces a number of flagellated daughter cells within. These daughter cells are also called as swarmers. The cell wall of the parent cell ruptures, releasing gonidia. The third type of asexual reproduction in bacteria is the conidia formation. It occurs in mycelial bacteria. The terminal portions of the bacterial filaments cut off rounded structures continuously in chains. These are called as conidia. The conidia on detachment form new individuals. The next type of asexual reproduction is budding. Some bacteria continuously produce protrusions called buds. These buds on detachment form new individuals. One more type of asexual reproduction is the fragmentation. It occurs in colonial cyanobacteria. After reaching to a certain length, the blue bacterium breaks into many fragments, each fragment forming a new colony. Another important type of asexual reproduction is the formation of hormogonia. Hormogonia formation is a characteristic method of reproduction in cyanobacteria. Trichomes of the filamentous genera break up within the sheath into many small fragments of one to many uniform living cells. These short segments are called as hormogonia or hormogones. The hormogonia may be separated by the formation of heterocysts or necretia. In addition to the normal asexual modes of reproduction, under stressful or unfavorable environmental conditions, different bacteria produce different structures that help them to undergo perennation. These structures, with the onset of the favorable conditions, germinate and form new bacteria. The most common types are: number 1, akinets. Akinets are large-sized, thick-walled, food-laden, resistant cells which are formed by cyanobacteria under unfavorable conditions. These akinets, on return of the favorable conditions, germinate to form new filaments. The second stage is the zooglia formation. When environmental conditions are adverse, some bacteria come to lie together in chains and get surrounded by a lot of mucilage. This is called as zooglia stage. This is a temporary stage for avoiding desiccation. Another survival strategy adapted by bacteria for avoiding stressful environmental conditions is the cyst formation. The parent cell secretes a highly protective thick wall called cyst wall, which can resist unfavorable conditions. On return of the favorable conditions, the cyst wall dissolves and the bacteria are released. Thus, cyst formation also helps in perennation. Another important aspect of perennation strategy is the endosperm formation. When the environmental conditions are adverse, some gram-positive bacteria, especially bacilli and certain blue-green bacteria, produce thick-walled resistant spores called endospores. Endospores are formed under extreme conditions of nutrient deficiency, unfavorable temperature, presence of toxic substances, etc. During endospore formation, a portion of the cytoplasm and a copy of the bacterial chromosome get dehydrated and encased by a thick wall. The rest of the cytoplasm and the bacterial cell wall deteriorate so that the endospores are released. Endospores can remain dormant for several decades and can tolerate hardest of environments. They can germinate only under favorable conditions. After discussing the asexual mode of reproduction in bacteria, we now come to another important aspect, that is the genetic recombination in bacteria. True sexual reproduction, which involves gamete formation and fertilization, is absent in bacteria, but genetic recombination takes place by conjugation, transduction and transformation. The genetic recombination or even the conjugation is absent in cyanobacteria. Bacterial conjugation is defined as the transfer of genetic material from a donor cell to a recipient cell through a specialized intercellular connection or conjugation tube that forms between them. The donor and the recipient cells are sometimes called as male and female cells respectively. The cells that have the capacity to serve as donors during conjugation can be differentiated by the presence of specialized cell surface appendages called F. pili. The synthesis of these F. pili is controlled by several genes that are carried by a small molecule of DNA called fertility factor or also called as F plasmid or sex factor. This F plasmid is an episome, that is a plasmid that can exist in two different states. One, the autonomous state in which it replicates independently of the host chromosome, and second, the integrated state in which it is covalently inserted into the host chromosome and replicates with it like any other segment of the host chromosome. The process of conjugation can take place in several ways. One of the best examples is the conjugation between F plus male and F minus female. The bacterium E. coli shows two strains, one acting as a donor F plus male and another as a recipient F minus female. The donor cell that contains fertility factor in the autonomous state, that is F plus cell, conjugates with an F minus recipient cell and only the F factor is transferred. The fertility factor is usually accompanied by the presence of pili. They help the donor cell to get attached to the recipient cell. In the region of contact, a pilus grows in size and forms a conjugation tube. The fertility factor replicates and a copy of it gets transferred to the recipient cell, which also becomes a donor. Thus, mixing a population of F plus cells with a population of F minus cells results virtually in all the cells in the new population becoming F plus. In other words, the sex in E. coli can be called infusious. The second type of genetic recombination in bacteria is transduction. Transduction may be defined as the transfer of DNA from one bacterium to another by bacteriophages. In most of the cases, only a small segment of the host DNA is transferred. Transduction happens through either the lytic cycle or the lysogenic cycle. Based on their interactions with the bacterial cell, the bacteriophages can be of two types. Number one, the virulent phages, which enter the lytic cycle during which they reproduce and lyse their host cells, and number two, the temperate phages, which enter the lysogenic cycle during which the phage chromosome is integrated into the bacterial chromosome, where it can remain dormant for thousands of generations and replicate like any other segment of the host chromosome. If the lysogen is induced, the phage chromosome is excised from the host chromosome and initiates the lytic cycle, which culminates in the lysis of the host cell and the release of the phage particles. Transduction in bacteria can be of two types. First, generalized transduction, which can transfer any part of the host DNA, and second, specialized transduction, which is restricted to the transfer of specific DNA segments only. Generalized transduction is mediated by virulent phages, and the generalized transducing particles are produced during the lytic cycles of these phages. Specialized transduction is mediated by temperate phages whose chromosomes are able to integrate at one or a fifth specific sites on the host chromosome. In its integrated state, the phage chromosome is known as a prophage. So, these are the examples of genetic elements called episomes. The third type of genetic recombination in bacteria is transformation. The uptake and incorporation of DNA by bacteria is called as transformation, and the normal ability of the bacteria to take up exogenous DNA from the environment is called as competence. Therefore, transformation may be defined as gene transfer by a soluble or naked DNA which has been extracted or otherwise liberated from a donor bacterium to a recipient bacterium. This is the longest known and historically the most important kind of gene transfer in bacteria. After discussing the three main types of genetic recombination in bacteria, we can conclude that the conjugation in bacteria occurs by direct cell-to-cell contact, but transduction and transformation do not involve any such contact. The transfer of genetic material in bacteria is thus a one-way transfer rather than a reciprocal exchange of genetic material. This phenomenon has been called as parasexuality or genetic recombination. With this, we come to the conclusion of the present topic, that was bacterial reproduction. We hope it helps your understanding of the bacterial reproduction. Thank you.